Hi, I'm Marty Richardson from ChefMartyRich.com. Welcome back to our daily tip series. I have a few more thoughts about setting the table. Yesterday I talked about the table and forgot to talk about the chairs. So, I'm going to double back. Your chairs. There's every chance that you don't have enough dining room chairs for all the people that you invite. So, it's A-OK to use any chair that you've got. Now, there's no, I know I keep talking about the rules, but you have what you have. And if you're concerned about consistency, you might want to try slip covers. Those fabric forms that go over the backing of the chair and the seat, and that might provide the consistency you're looking for if you've got enough of your place settings that are all consistent and you want to try to make everything match. Otherwise, it's no different than, chairs are no different than your glassware, silverware, or plates. Feel free to mix and match. That leads me to seating. Now, do not leave seating up to chance, even for an informal occasion. Reminds me of this party, the last party that we were at for Miss Barbara's anniversary. We were there early, and it was a time zone thing. We're in Eastern Standard Time. The party was in Central Standard Time. It didn't say on the invitation whether it was Eastern or Standard, and I was bringing rolls, so we ended up being an hour and a half early. Anyway, it gave me a chance to see how people sat themselves because there weren't place cards at the tables. And when people came in, tables of 7 or 8, and they drifted to separate tables. Each group that came into the room didn't join another group that was already sitting at a table unless they knew them. So the click factor was working. And this is something that you want to avoid at your party. Now, it's going to happen anyway. It can happen during cocktail time, but at dinner, it's mix and mingle. That's why you want to try to control your seating, and you can do that by using place cards. Now, here are the rules. We always come back to the rules. The hosts are seated at either end of the table. That's pretty common. But did you know that the female guest of honor is seated to the right of the male host, and the male guest of honor is seated to the right of the female host? Then you seat the rest of your guests, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, as much as possible, separating couples. Pair guests that have common interests if you know them. This stimulates conversation, and it gets people to know other people or meet other people that come to your party. And that's part of the point. So everybody knows everybody that they came with. We get that part, but that's why you're having a party, hopefully. So the place cards are another opportunity for you to carry your theme through the party. They don't have to be elaborate. They can be very creative. It can be just a small little piece of paper in an empty glass even, or on the plate. But use this as another, like I said, another chance to be creative and to follow either your seasonal theme through, or the theme of your party, or color theme. Another chance to be creative. So with all of this, I know I tell you the rules and then I tell you to break them. Well, again, it's about attention to the little details. And if you think about this stuff ahead of time, remember, pre-party planning prevents panic. Okay? So you've got a month until the biggest home holiday of them all. I know there's Christmas, but that's not as much about food as presents. Thanksgiving is all about the food. So you're trying to set the stage, and that's what this series is about. And if you pay attention to some of these tips, not all of you are cooking or entertaining this year. Pass some of these tips on to someone who is. I hope it's very helpful. It's something that I've done, like I said, both being the cook and being a butler for almost 30 years. I've seen my share of holiday meals. So these tips are very important. And again, setting the table is about entertaining. You're trying to set the stage. And if you do it properly, and you've got weeks, a month before the holiday arrives, you can pull these things together. It's not about having the right stuff, it's about having your stuff. And if you think about a theme or the holiday or the occasion necessarily, all of these things will come together for you. And if you also keep in mind of how to stimulate the senses, to think about the music ahead of time and pick it out so you're not scrambling at the last minute, the textures of your tablecloth or your placemats or napkins, the fragrance and colors of your flowers, the lighting, the candles, all of these things set the atmosphere and tone of your party before any of your guests put a fork full of food in their mouth. Okay? So this is what I'm trying to get across here, that if you do all these things or have these things in mind when you're preparing for your party, then when you get to the food, everyone's already sold. The food's the icing on the cake, as it were. It takes the pressure off. You've already created such an atmosphere that of welcoming and relaxation for your guests, and that's what entertaining is all about. So again, I hope this has helped you, and maybe you can help somebody else who is under the gun in a month. So tomorrow I have a few more tips for you. They're not going to stop. I got another month's worth, and we're getting to I know we're getting there. We're getting to the food. It's coming soon. But believe me, I have a whole month's worth of tips just about the food. So stick around. Thanks for sending in comments. They've been really good and positive, and I really enjoy doing this. So I hope you enjoy it too. Thanks.